Hello everyone, I hope you are doing fine. This is Arvind Raula. Today I am going to talk about variables in Python. So let's get started. So what is variable in Python? So in my opinion, it is a name given to a memory location and it stores different types of values. I said 2 points here. That is, it is a name given to a memory location. It is a name given to a memory location and it stores different types of values. These are the 2 points you need to remember throughout this lecture. So why we are giving a name to a memory location? So let's see. I am drawing it square here. So let us assume this square as a memory. So this is our memory, and in this memory we are storing a value which is 24, and this memory has a unique address. Let's take this memory address as some random numbers, and this is the memory address. So in order to access this 24, I need to know this memory address. So to access this 24, I need to know this memory address. But some people say it is easy to remember this memory address. But some other people say no, it isn't. But hold on, people. The people who are saying it is easy to remember the memory address. Here we are dealing with only one value, which is 24. But in real time, we have to deal with hundreds and thousands of values. So at that time, we need to remember hundreds and thousands of memory addresses. Is it easy to remember for humans? No, it isn't. But robots can do, but we are not robots. So for that purpose, we are using variables. For that purpose, we are giving name to the memory locations. So why are we using variables? So if we have to deal with lots of values, we need to remember the memory addresses given by the system. So it is difficult for us humans. That's why we are giving an alternate name to the memory locations, which is given by the systems. So we are giving alternative name to the memory locations, which is given by us. So it is easy for us to remember. So this is about variables, and the second point is it stores different kinds of values. Here I store 24. I can store strings, characters, boolean values, floats, integers, complex numbers, anything in this memory. So this is the second point. It stores different types of values. So let's recap all of this in 1 minute. So what is a variable? It is a name given to a memory location and it stores different types of values. Why we are giving name to a memory location? Because whenever we store a value in our system which is stored in memory and that memory has a unique address and it is given by the system, it is difficult for us humans to remember memory address, because in situations like where we need to deal with hundreds and thousands of values, we have to remember hundreds and thousands of memory addresses. As humans, it is difficult for us to remember that huge amount of memory addresses. So for that purpose, we are giving an alternate name to the memory locations, which is nothing but our variables. And our variable stores different types of values, and the different types of values can be integers, floats, complex numbers, strings, booleans, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and sets, etc. And this is about variables. So what I want to tell here is, if you break down the name variable, so I'm breaking down this variable. It has two words, vary and able. As you know, vary means change, able means ability. So it has the ability to change. Remember this point. Variable has the ability to change. That's why it is given the name variable. So let's see how it changes. So let's see. I am declaring a variable which is num. In this num, I am storing a value which is 10, and I am printing this num. So if I run the program, I get 10. So now I am assigning the num with the 20. Now I am printing the num. If you see, we get 20 here. So at first we have num equals to 10. Now we have num equals to 20. So our variable is changing its values. This is nothing but it has the ability to change. So I proved the point which I said earlier. So this is the ability of variable to change. And before declaring a variable, there are some rules we need to remember. There are basically four rules. The first rule is we cannot use numbers as variable names. We cannot use a number before a variable name. So this is the first rule. We cannot use a number at the beginning of a variable name. So let's see what happens if we use a number at beginning of a variable name. So I am taking a new variable which is one name equals to root. So what happens if I print this one name? So let's see. I am getting a syntax error here, invalid syntax. So why I am getting this invalid syntax? As I told, interpreter does not accept numbers at the beginning of a variable name. So that's why our interpreter showing us this error message. So to fix this, we can simply remove this one, and if we run this program, we are getting root. So this is about the first rule, and the second rule is case sensitive. Case sensitive means uppercase and lowercase letters are different. So let's see what is that. So here I am assigning root to name, and this name have all the letters in lowercase. What happens if I replace the small n with capital N and I print this value? I'm running this program. You can see I am getting a name error. Name is not defined because here I assigned root to a small name. Name in small or lowercase letters, but I am printing with name in uppercase letters. So that's why our interpreter showing this name error. So to remove this error, we can simply replace the capital N with small n. So if I run this program, you can see we are again getting the growth. So the second rule is case sensitive, which means if we declare a variable with lowercase letters, we need to access that variable with the lowercase letters only. If we try to access with the uppercase letters, it gives us the error, which is the name error. So remember this point. And the third one is special characters are not allowed. What are the special characters? At the rate, hash, dollar symbol, percentage, these all are special characters which we cannot use in our variable names, but we can use underscores. Remember this. So let's see what happens if I use a special character here. I am using at the rate of name here. So I am printing at the rate of name. What happens? So if you see, I am again getting a syntax error which is showing that invalid syntax because our interpreter does not accept special characters. So this is the point, and I also said that we can use underscore. Let's see first name. So I am printing first name. Yes, I am getting the output, correct output growth. I am not getting any errors. So this is true. And the last one is keywords. Keywords are not allowed. We cannot use keywords as variable names. Keywords are nothing but which are reserved words. They are meant for some specific functionality. So they only do that function only. So we cannot assign a keyword with some value, which means we cannot use keywords as variable names. So let's see what happens if we use a variable name, if we use a keyword as a variable name. So I am assigning if with 24. So I am printing if what happens. Running the program, you can see if equals to 24, syntax error, invalid syntax. We are getting the syntax error, which means our interpreter is not accepting a keyword as a variable name. So these are the 4 points to remember before declaring a variable. And this is not a rule, but it is suggestible. If you are declaring a variable, please make sure that the variable name tells what type of value this variable is holding. So what value this variable is holding. So this is one point to remember. It is not mandatory, but it is suggestible.